Hello and welcome to Hashtag. This is where we get to discuss all things topical and trending. And my name is Vivian Oguche. Of course, this is your favorite channel, VOP TV. And I got my co-anchor, Ikechukwu. He's back from the hiatus. Good to have you back.
Good evening, Vivian.
Yes.
And good evening to our viewers.
All right. Today is packed, guys. I've got a former sports minister, Solomon Dalung, joining us today. He's been so gracious. So in advance, I say thank you, sir. So the show is going to be split into two halves. Yeah, the first half, we are going to be having the former minister talk to us about 2027 and how vocal really he's been about it all. And then second half of the show, we are going to be having Barrister Tunde Kolawole join us as we talk about Simon Ekpa and how he has bagged 6 years, over charges of terrorism. So guys, without further ado, let me welcome my very special guest today, Solomon Dalung, former sports minister. Okay, I understand he's not in yet. He's going to be joining us in a short while. But he has been talking about the 2027 presidential election. He said that President Tinubu and his kitchen cabinet really, they've prioritized politics over governance. He's also been saying that come 2027, President Tinubu should prepare that he's going to be returning to Lagos. He also talked about his mentor, Bishop Kuka, really, and he's been asking some very, very weighty questions. He's wondering, is this the same person I know, or what exactly is going on? All of this is what we're going to be talking about in a short while. But Ikechukwu, 2027, it looks like we are in 2027 already. The space has been heated, and so many people have said so much, though.
I mean, it's not surprising. If you've been following the trajectory of the APC, how they came into power, you understand that what they know how to do is to play opposition.
Yeah.
And when your structure or your ideology is built around being an opposition, even when you have the power, you still see yourself as, an opposition. You still want to keep fighting. And what opposition does is that they keep the government, on the toe every single time, because of course you want the best for the people, basically. But now for the APC, they are in power now, and then every single thing that people say, it's become an issue. They tend to recirculate and make it bigger than it seems. But the big question we should be asking ourselves, in 2027. You said 2027 is already here. The truth is this, the APC came into power, and all they've been doing is, play opposition. All they've been doing is, politics, 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 politics. From the first day the president came on board as, president, I'm talking about President Tinubu now, when he came on board, and then when he started, bringing his list from ministerials and all of that, it was clear that whatever he's doing now is actually doing for 2027 election. It's not even really about governance. I will tell you 80-20. 20% governance, 80% politics. Now, Wike actually did the unthinkable to ensure that he won Rivers State. Against all odds, right? He won Rivers State, and then he wants to actually replicate that. So he wants Wike to still have the foothold on Rivers State. Remember, he lost the FCT. He wants somebody who understands how to actually win. Even if you have to win at all costs, be there for me at the FCT. He wants to win it. Because you remember also, during the P2B and Atiku Lagos saga around his presidency, when he was actually declared winner, one of the talking points was the fact that he didn't win in Abuja, right? It became a very huge constitutional issue until, of course, the Supreme Court actually gave him a pass as regards that. Now he's the president. He doesn't want a repeat of that. He doesn't want that state to elude him again, right? Now just look at it from where I'm standing. I will tell you clearly, right? The president is going to win Rivers State either by hook or by crook, and also is also definitely going to win at the FCT either by hook or by crook. Of course, the Nyesom Wike, who I know, right, who a lot of Nigerians also know, who not wants to actually lose the state. He's sitting as like a de facto governor. And plus, you also look at...
Would you hold your horses here? We will continue from that, so do not forget, yeah. I understand that former sports minister Solomon Dalung has just joined in. Sir, you are very, very much welcome and much loved right here. So thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
All right. So you've been very vocal about this current administration. And one of the things you said not too long ago was that the president, really, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, should get ready because he's returning to Lagos in 2027. You also said not too long ago that his administration has prioritized politicking over governance. You also have been asking some very deep questions. And whose answer are you waiting for? That of Bishop Kuka. So I would like for us to take it one step after the other. In 2022, you resigned from the APC because you said you guys were no longer in alignment. Let's start from there, sir.
Yes. I'm a founding member of PDP. I joined the PDP in August 1998. I left the PDP in 2010, and I joined the APC in 2014. I left the APC also in 2021 to join the Social Democratic Party. And my basic reason of leaving the APC was, well, before leaving the APC, I was a member of the Tinubu Strategic Council. And I was heading the Contract and Mobilization Committee. Babachiro was our main chair. Noor Rebadu, the National Security Advisor, was member of my committee, and others. But why did I resign from the APC? As at the time of my resignation, there were two things on the table. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Constitution of the party was violated, assaulted by the appointment of a sitting governor as a chairman of the party, who was supposed to hold brief for 3 months, ended up being there for 2 years. And then when I went to meet the president, because I had worked for President Muhammadu Buhari and been in government, but Nigerians were not satisfied with the performance of the Buhari's government. So I didn't want to go into another round of leadership without assessing its capabilities. And so I went and met with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, then an aspirant in Lagos State Lodge in Asokoro. And we held conversation for over 30 minutes. And from every material indication, he was not comprehending anything I was saying. So when I left, I told myself, look, gentlemen, you were one of those who brought Buhari, and Nigerians have been expressing their dissatisfaction, anger about the inability of the government to discharge its promises, campaign promises. And here you have again another grandparent who, after 30 minutes of discussion, he could not comprehend anything, now trying to be the president of Nigeria.
Let me come in here, Minister. Let me come in here, Honorable. You said that he could not comprehend whatever you were saying after 30 minutes. Walk us through what you mean exactly. Is it that he had no staying power? Was he losing focus, or he just did not really understand English or what you were trying to say? It doesn't. No, so what exactly?
He has a very sound understanding of English language.
Okay.
But almost everything we discussed, there was nothing to take concrete from there, which will encourage me to go and campaign for him.
Okay.
And so when I left, I warned myself, having produced the first president who Nigerians are dissatisfied, I wouldn't want to go into another round of producing another grandparent again who will go in and a cabal will hijack him because of age, and will have the country again plunge into crisis. And whenever I die or pass on, the only legacy Nigerians would have remembered me for was, look at this stupid man. All that we could remember him is to produce presidents who were in the advanced ages and failed Nigerians. So that was the reasons which triggered my conscience, and I put up my resignation, left the council, left the party, and joined the Social Democratic Party.
All right, thank you so much. That was very well said. Now, are you thinking of leaving the SDP and joining the ADC, which seems to be the hottest thing in town right now?
No, I'm already in the coalition.
Aha.
Yeah, I am already in the coalition, and I'm the national coordinator for diasporans affairs in the All Democratic Congress. So I'm also a founding member there.
So are you going? Is the ADC going to give the APC a run for its money or not? Really?
Well, for money, yes, the APC has the Nigerian money to play with. They have exhibited that because they are mismanaging the resources. They are not even accountable. They're not transparent. So they have a lot of money. But APC is going to give them.
I think you have things mixed up here. Were you talking about the APC playing around with Nigerian money and that the ADC was going to ensure that things are done the right way? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, that's what exactly I said. I said okay. The APC is currently the custodian of our common patrimony. And they've exhibited their penchant for recklessness in terms of mismanagement of the resources.
Okay.
And that for the ADC, we have everything it takes in terms of the social contract we're going to have with Nigerians, the group of personality that had, the patriots that had lined up to sacrifice whatever is left of them to make sure that the country is rescued. And then we will mobilize Nigerians who already are responding positively to make sure that the president does not have difficulty in, jumping into Air Force One, which he has used $150 million to customize it into a private aircraft. He will have no difficulty because on that day will be willing to even escort him to the airport into Air Force One because Bondolian will be waiting for him by that time.
Because that's exactly what you said. You said come 2027 that the president should just have to have his bag and baggages packed because he's returning to Bondolian. Now, but let's talk about this. Yeah, former President Goodluck Jonathan just came out to say that for you to have any kind of credible election in 2027, there must be an independent screening and nomination of the electoral umpire. How are you guys going to deal with that, really?
Well, the president being a realist and also an idealist, because these two elements are also found in the personality of former President Goodluck Jonathan. So he's just been realistic about the current situation we are dealing with, where elections today in Nigeria has gone to this situation where, of course, you do not expect anything resembling elections. That the ADC is quite aware of. Nobody in ADC is a stranger to the the current Fourth Republic democracy. Nobody is a stranger. All of us have been active participants. So, all the antics, the tactics, the style, the method, even the letters, the technical glitch which they used to truncate 2023 elections, we have understood it. So we are combat ready to contend with INEC. It's only INEC I do not envy and I sympathize with them. The vigilance we are going to mobilize, they will have to either abide by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, behave themselves and conduct election for Nigerians, or those who will want to truncate democracy will be held responsible. But for us, nothing short of democratic standards will be tolerated from anybody. Even this bazaar they are doing with public funds, very soon the AGC will activate a mechanism of civic engagement and develop the spirit of resistance. If you look at the components of the National Working Committee of the AGC, it's made up of activists, very brave and brilliant activists. Najatu Mohammed is on the Working Committee. The likes of myself are there. And there are more of these revolutionary Democrats on that particular National Working Committee. So nobody is going to take Nigerians for a ride. The two parts, the opposition, which basically the PDP, had been unpeated, and so it could not hold this government accountable. And so the president was having a field day, and his assumption was that, in fact, because of the field day he's having, there is no need for election. That's why in the second year of our history, instead of governance, he has already started campaigning.
Which brings us to the second thing I want us to talk about. That's what you said, that instead of governance is politicking. Not so long ago, WTO chief Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala came into the country, paid the president a courtesy call, and she said that this administration has stabilized the economy. Apparently, they are doing things well. That's what she said. But safety nets for the vulnerables should be the next bus stop. But you seem to think that no, that this administration is not doing anything called governance, but they are just politicking. Walk us through that, sir.
Whenever we have reputable Nigerians coming from outside, and some of them, we've known them for their outspokenness and courage. And when they come in and begin to play gymnastic with language, I get worried. Okonjo-Iweala has no business to make such statement, because you cannot just make sweeping statement as a professional like her, an elder stateswoman, woman, a reputable international personality, to just make such sweeping statement. What are the indices justifying what she said? What does she really mean when she said the economy was stable? What is this the mechanism of determination of stability of economy, when it is common knowledge that the withdrawal of fuel subsidy on the 29th of May 2023 has not been accounted for? Accountability is one of the indices of assessment of stability of economy. Transparency is another second mechanism. This same government is awarding contracts in the bedrooms of the chief executives. The highway, the Southwest Coastal Highway, the contract was awarded in complete violation of procurement regulations, with an upfront payment of 1.7 trillion, and commissioning the project just 25 kilometers into it. Will Okonjo-Iweala come up and tell us that this is what is meant by the stability of the economy? When you say economy is stable, what is happening to inflation? What is happening to the purchasing power of the masses? Today we are having galloping inflation. The purchasing power of the masses had collapsed. The middle class has evaporated. So I do not expect such a reputable personality, to behave like an angel who was invited to dance into the mud. Definitely.
Wow.
He will not return to heaven with clean clothes.
That I am going to write down somewhere and probably laminate and keep in my room. I can tell you that. Earlier on, you and I were talking, and we talked about the North Central, right? Both of us are from the North Central. I am from Kogi State, and you talked about my people really, how they are not where they are supposed to be because of societal values and all of that, you know. But you also talked about the role of the clergymen, right? Religious leaders, traditional leaders, how they are not living up to their billing. And then I asked you, what do you make of the recent backlash that Bishop Mercy Kuka has been receiving online after he made statements, very favorable statements about this administration? Mind you, he was appointed by the president, you know, a while ago. So it looks like he's dining with the president, you know, all the way. But then again, you said it wasn't just netizens alone that reacted to, you know, the comments Bishop Kuka just made recently, but you did react as well. And then you now led me into something very, how will I say, personal. You said he was your mentor. So walk us through your relationship with him, and what do you think he's doing wrongly now, and how come he's receiving so much backlash from netizens at the moment? Yourself inclusive.
Yeah, I lost my peace for the past 2 days when I watched and listened to him making such reckless, unguided statement from a personality of him. Bishop Kuka has been my mentor when we were in the trenches during the struggle for democracy, when he was the Catholic secretary in Lagos. I think that was when they established a relationship with Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So it's not the appointment that made him to embark on such a very dangerous adventure of putting at stake his integrity and image to be vandalized as it happened. Bishop Kuka has been known by those of us who are in revolutionary politics to have been the voice of the masses, even during the military days when it was not possible for anybody to have uttered a word. The voices of Bishop Kuka was there for Nigerian people. And so some of us were inspired by his leadership. And even when I was in government as a minister, I was criticizing President Muhammadu Buhari. And as a mentor and a friend, I even visited him in Sokoto and spent Easter with him. That is how close we are with Bishop Kuka. And I'm so sad that he could venture into what he found himself. If Bishop Kuka is saying that, because he is now singing the chorus of stability and direction, may I ask my mentor, Bishop Kuka, the direction which he said the right direction? Could the direction be right when the president unilaterally, without a budget and procurement process, approved a contract of 17 trillion from his bedroom and awarded it to a company that his son is a sitting director? Could that be the direction he's talking about? Could Bishop Kuka, this time now maybe under spiritual guidance, have seen the direction and we have not seen it? And the direction may be that, okay, the government has withdrawn subsidy since May 29, and as I'm talking, has been unable to account for how much has been realized. I mean, imagine Abacha as a dictator, withdrew 5% of subsidy and was able to account for it. Talk more of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who pride himself as a Democrat. Accountability is shrouded in darkness. Maybe could the direction which Bishop Kuka is saying is right meant that, okay, the killing, the raping, the maiming, the even raping of parents in front, raping of daughters in presence of their parents, as is happening in his neighborhood, Zamfara, Kebbi, and even Sokoto, that could be the direction, the right direction, which Bishop Kuka is saying this government has set. Maybe, I think this right direction Kuka is talking about, the stability in the economy he is referring to, is that, okay, this government has succeeded in increasing electricity tariff and shut down small-scale businesses, and the poor are now dying. And he has been performing requiem and burial funerals of the poor every day. So that to him might mean the stability. I think Bishop Kuka, this stability is talking about could be that if once you are appointed by Tinubu, either to head a university or to head a credit scheme or in one bogus office that is created for just to make you a campaign coordinator, may mean that the economy is stable. Otherwise, everything said by Bishop Kuka fell woefully short of his personality and charisma.
Honorable Minister, this is mind-boggling. I do not know what to say. But my co-anchor here, Ikechukwu, has a question for you. Ikechukwu.
Honorable Minister, good evening once again. I want to really ask, because I would like us to circle back to the 2027 presidential election, because that's exactly where you said something that really struck. And what you said was that you don't want to be part of the process that will bring in a grandpa. And I was like looking at the ADC and I'm looking at the compositions of the key players in the ADC. I know very well that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar has thrown in his heart into the ring that he wants to contest. And is this a kind of you saying, you know what, if the ADC decides to actually forge ahead and choose Atiku Abubakar, you're going to step back? Because there's rumors from some quarters that said you are one of those persons who are rooting for Atiku Abubakar. So I don't know if you are an Atiku person or you're just saying this because you don't want any grandpa, because Atiku really falls in that category.
Well, he doesn't look it though.
Well, I'm a party leader now, I'm a member of the National Working Committee, so I don't express such sentiments openly. It's against my principle as a revolutionary politician. It's against my conscience. It's also against what I believe I stand for.
Absolutely.
But let me come back about those you found in the ADC. Those crop of leaders who have put themselves out there are sacrificial lamb, patriots who have decided to sacrifice themselves to fight a battle so that when we conquer, we have the upcoming first battalion, the rear rank battalion, accompanying us. And we have exhibited that. If you look at the National Working Committee of the ADC, we have a principle of 50% accommodation for young people. Mm. We have a 35% accommodation for women. ADC is not here to replicate the same thing history has been repeating. Because we believe in the ADC that you cannot be doing the same thing year in, year out and expect different results. And for you, the young people, let me shock you. Nigeria was not built by old people. In the history of Nigeria, there's nowhere you can point to any legacies and attribute it to anybody who is old. The first republic leaders were youth. Yes. Even those who advocated for independence were youth. The National Youth Movement of Herbert Macaulay, as the first president, was one of the organizations that started challenging imperialism in Nigeria and organized Nigerians to start fighting for independence. So it was the young people who fought for independence.
So it was the young people. Honorable Minister, please, ex-minister, let me really say this, because you said something again that's very, very cogent. You said 50% for the youth and another about 20% for the women. So is this to say that when you start rolling out, positions, people who are going to be contesting on the platform of the ADC, we're going to be seeing young people? And at what bracket of age are we looking at? Because I remember former president once I described Atiku Abubakar, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar as a youth. So are we going to see people who fall in the category of, say, 50s as the youth in this case? Or we're looking at a certain demography of people who are between, say, 18 and, say, 40?
Because of the abnormality of the evolution of youth development in Nigeria, In the ADC, we are looking at, 40 down as youth. But if you are going to go by the national youth policies, it is far, far lower than that, and maybe what you check the constitution. But we are being deliberate because over the years, the youth have been reduced to wheelbarrow. They are only needed during elections. During elections, they are very active. They either carrying machetes or carrying petrol or they are howling Maggie to be distributed for politicians. But immediately results are declared. The only offices open for them is to be SA to the wife of a member of House of Assembly, to be SA to a councillor, to be SA to this. They don't even hold any appointment. So all these things, we in the AGC are aware. We know this very well. And so we will not allow this to continue. I'm not going to be here. If God is graceful to me, I'm not going to be here in the next 30 years. Even if I'm here in the next 30 years, I may be a problem to myself. So what becomes of the young people? So they need to be reorientated into, positive responsibilities. And that's why in the AGC, we encourage the youth to be very active. We encourage them to ask questions. We encourage them to challenge us. They should be asking us questions. Why have you not been able to do this? Why is this not working? That's when we know that the youths are coming up.
Okay.
We
need to let them in. No,
please. Let me ask you just one question.
I am not complaining.
Okay, all right.
One more question.
All right, go ahead.
If you want to expel me from your sign the decree.
Please stay. It's fine. You and I had an agreement earlier on. I didn't want to overstep, but I'm glad you said you're okay with it. So let's roll. Let's do this. Yeah.
Okay. I told you I've shared everything just to honor this.
You said so, sir, and I'm grateful. Thank you.
We are grateful.
Yes.
Yes, we are grateful. So yes, still on the 2027 election. And you said you're a key, you're a leader in the ADC. It begs the question, because this is one question a lot of persons have been trying to find answers to. And it's good that you're here today to answer it for us. Do you believe in a gentleman agreement of the North and the South political arrangement? Right. So the South has to complete their 8 years in office, and then, of course, it goes back to the North. Do you believe in that ideology, or you just believe that it should be open for the best man to actually run?
Now, this is my personal opinion. I was part and parcel of the evolution of the zoning in 1999 because I was personal assistant to the first national chairman of the party, Chief Solomon Dalung. Solomon Dalung brought me up in politics. It took me when I was about 18 years in secondary school, and I was with him for 43 years before he passed on. So I'm relatively informed about most of this thing. So the zoning formula was a necessity to try to cure the question of our unity. Because in 1999, the annulment of June 12th actually had wreaked serious havoc on our cohesion. And so we needed something that could guarantee confidence and reunite Nigerians. I believe in the zoning, but zoning is already getting, it has overstayed its welcome. Because if you take this zoning argument now, there are some people who will tell you, okay, let's take the number of years from 1999 till date that Southern citizens have been presidents and compare it alongside with the North. There are those who are advocating for that. There are those who are now advocating that, okay, now we have a Southern president, and therefore we need to zone power to the South. We in the ADC are interested in rescuing Nigeria. Therefore, we are not going to behave like an army general who will invite his opponent or enemy to come and inspect his armory before he will launch attack the following day. But when we get to the bridge, we will cross. We want to assure Nigerians that we are going to take into consideration the sentiment, the sensibility of Nigerians that will forge and consolidate our unity than dividing us as it is now.
All right. Honorable, you've done fantastically well so far. Now, you've been speaking out, very vocal against this administration. Another person who's been talking very vocal really, is former FCT Minister, former Kaduna State Minister, Governor Nasir El-Rufai. He was on a televised interview not too long ago, and he said this administration is evil. I'm not mincing words. This has the net. How will I say it? It has broken the net, basically. Now, just like you, he's saying that this administration has lost it and that the ADC is going to do everything it can to ensure that come 2027, President Tinubu is not coming back. He is your colleague. Would you say that what he's saying is a consensus, really?
You know, for me, he has used the word evil. But let me enumerate the character of this administration, whether it fits into the definition of evil. What would you say of a government that, as I'm talking to you now, 5 communities were evacuated by bandits and taken into the bush? Women, children, the old and the young, even nursing mothers under the rain and sun, mosquitoes, reptiles. As we're talking, they are still in the hands of the bandit. They've released a video begging government to intervene. A government that can do that to its citizens, I think maybe it's the government of Angel Gabriel. A government that people from May 29, 2023 have been crying that, oh, your policies are so harsh. People are dying of hunger. We are losing our businesses. People are collapsing and dying because they've lost everything they have. And the leader of that government, the chief priest of Emiloko, came on air during one of his presidential, broadcasts and said, I have no regret. Oh. That may be the government of an angel.
Honorable Chief Priest of Emiloko, man, this is the first time I'm telling you. This is the first time I'm hearing that. Yeah, just to let you know that we've also been joined by another guest, Barrister Tunde Kolawole, and he's going to be reacting to a number of things you said. But I want you to take you to X first to see how netizens are reacting to this particular hashtag El-Rufai. Let's do this. Loretta Onoche, who used to be the late PMB's aide, also jumped on this particular one. But on X, we have it. Channel Television put up this particular tweet. I don't know if you can see it on your screen. Can we have it on your screen? Thank you so much, Director. Channel Television. They are quoting Nasir El-Rufai. He says, I am the only person qualified to call this government evil because I know evil when I say it. This government is the only government that came to make money from day one for itself and its cronies. Let's take a look at the next one now. So, Loretta Oniche says the Nigerian government has a policy of paying bandits facilitated by the Office of the National Security Advisor. They give cash to bandits and send food to them too. We have the evidence. El-Rufai. Now, Honorable Minister, I want for you to react to this particular one, right? And then we'll have Barrister Tunde Kolawole give us his 2 pence, his peace of mind, really. So, Loretta is, taking a quote from that interview we talked about, where former FCT Minister El-Rufai said the Nigerian government has a policy of paying bandits facilitated by the Office of the National Security Advisor. Honorable, what do you make of this? This is weighty, would you say?
Yeah, it is weighty. But you see, there is an adage in my village that says, if you are accused of witchcraft, you do not go to the market to buy torchlight. Should you do that and light is seen behind your house in the evening, of course, it is conclusive that you have started the witchcraft. So this government, the way it has been able to manage the issue of insecurity, how clerics, Islamic clerics, can go freely in the name of negotiation with bandits, and like in Katsina, bandits came for a negotiation in government house bearing their weapons, while the Nigerian army were also carrying weapons. And after the negotiation, they left the bush with their arms. Will you fault Nigerians who hold this type of opinions based on this that I've also said? So I think there is no smoke without fire.
There is no smoke without fire. On that note, I welcome you, Barrister Tunde Kolawole, to the show. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. You've listened to the Honorable Minister. How would you react to the comments he's just made, though? Unmute yourself, Barrister Kolawole, so we can hear you clearly. Unmute yourself. Can you hear us? Barrister Kolawole, unmute your device so we can hear you. Okay, so while we wait for the barrister to unmute his mic. All right, go ahead, Barrister Kolawole. Yes, go ahead.
Oh, great, great. Well, I was trying to greet the Comrade Minister for his erudite presentation and all that, and also some of the fundamental issues for which he has raised. But I would, as a lawyer, want to be a little bit circumspect in being categorical about whether the present government has been paying bandits to release whoever they may have kidnapped. Because as we are taught in the law school, if you don't have a concrete evidence, you shouldn't be making too sweeping a statement such as that. But we are all present in this country when somebody like Malam Nasir Rufai said that he had been paying bandits so that they would stop kidnapping in Kaduna State and then in Southern Kaduna, especially, what have you. So if this government had also been paying, at least that has not been made too explicit since this government came into power. The only pointer that we could say, just like the Honorable Minister said, is that the once religious leaders and some other negotiators have once gone to the havens of the bandits and what have you. In the company, as we were told, of DSS officials and also police officials and what have you. And then they did the negotiations and came back and all that. Still, after that venture into the den of the kidnappers, one would have expected that it would have been a good opportunity for the DSS and all the other security apparatus that follow those negotiators in there to be able to unravel or know the locations of these people and be able to map out strategies to rein them in. So, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Ever since all those negotiations things have gotten worse all over the country.
In a nutshell, Barrister Kolawole, what you're saying is that the security apparatus is not living up to its billing. That's what you're saying, basically. Is that it? All right, let me move on now to the Honorable Minister. It looks like Barrister Kolawole is having issues with his device. Or can you hear me clearly? I want to quickly wrap this up as we move on.
I could hear you.
Okay, so I just want you to answer me in a sentence, though. Are you saying that the security apparatus is not living up to its billing? Is that what you're saying?
Not too long ago, the National Security Advisor came out and even display pictures of some of the added bandits which they have killed.
Barrister, we could talk about, we could go on and on and on. Can you just answer so that we can move on to the next topic, because time is of the essence? Are you saying in a nutshell?
You are dealing with a lawyer, mind you.
No, are you saying in a...
I wouldn't...
Unfortunately, I can't hear you clearly, but let me come to you.
I wouldn't say they have done too well.
Okay, good. I can take that.
Done too well. I wouldn't say they have done too well. Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe 45% over 100.
Okay, 45% over 100. Honorable Minister is laughing. Let's have you react
Yes.
to Barrister Kolawole. I hear you laughing, really. He's saying 45 over 100. Do you agree, really? Talking about securing the nation.
He's an honest Nigerian, and
Yes.
I think I am at home with his judgment and analysis of the situation.
Okay.
The problem basically is we are interested in having a country that works. And if the country is not working, we will not cease to continue to complain, because that is the only way we can hold them accountable. Security is very terrible. Let me tell you, I came back from Jos 2 days ago. And last week in Jos, bandits displaced 11 communities, took possession, and sacked the people. As I'm talking to you, the people from these villages are IDPs, while their houses had been occupied by bandits. In the circumstance, can we say security has improved? Must it be when we are affected that we will complain?
On that note, I got to wrap it up with Minister. You've been fantastic. That's all I can say. Thank you so much for hopping on the show with us today. I do hope when we call on you again another time, you will say yes. But thank you for being gracious today.
Nagu, Aile.
Oh my gosh, you just spoke my language, Igala, and I'm so excited.
Yes.
Agba, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it, Honorable Minister. So we have been speaking to former Sports Minister Solomon Dalung, who's been very gracious to us. Thank you, sir. We are continuing with you, Barrister Kolawole. If you can hear us now, it is hashtag Simon Ekpa. So Simon Ekpa goes to jail is trending right now on X, right? So I'm just going to take you to X, where a Finnish court actually sentenced him 6 years to 6 years imprisonment over terrorism charges. So Nigeria Story says pro-Biafra agitator Simon Ekpa sentenced to 6 years in prison in Finland for terrorism. Let's take a look at the next post regarding this particular one now, shall we? Yes, Bros Ike says, can you see how the legal system in Finland handled Simon Ekpa's case and jailed him in less than a year? Meanwhile, the Nigerian legal system has been on Nnamdi Kanu's case for years without any meaningful headway. If Simon were in Nigeria, he might even have walked free. Barrister Kolawole, this is what I want you to take a look at. It's not rocket science, is it? Nnamdi Kanu's case has been on for what? Over 10 years now? But look at what just happened with the Finnish government and Simon Ekpa, who happened to be once upon a time a councillor in Finland. I don't know how this whole thing happened to him. But then again, in a very short time, he was arrested, prosecuted, and jailed. Why do you think this can't be replicated in Nigeria? Or for starters, what do you make of all of this, really?
Well, let's quickly say that while we don't have a perfect legal system in Nigeria, we must also admit that given the challenges that the judiciary face all over the country and all that, it may be difficult to replicate the kind of thing that we see in a place like Finland. A lot of factors come into play in here. The person being prosecuted, is he willing to go submit himself voluntarily and then expeditiously for justice to be done in this matter? And to the best of my knowledge, it doesn't appear to me that Mr. Namirikano had wanted a speedy trial since this trial began so many years ago. Secondly, the facilities that are available in some of the places that you have mentioned, are they available in Nigeria? The answer is no. Thirdly, delay in the justice system is not peculiar to Nigeria alone. It's mostly the challenges that most of the third world countries are facing. And you will not believe it. Countries like India, Pakistan, and what have you are also facing very similar challenges. Maybe because of the huge population, maybe because they have not deployed the cutting-edge technologies like America and Finland have deployed. Maybe because of poor funding, maybe because the personnel in terms of, because it is not just the judges and magistrates alone. or the lawyers alone that make up the justice system. You have the auxiliary staff, the registrars and what have you, and the technical staffs and what have you. You hardly could compare the people who man such places in Finland and Nigeria being on the same platform. They are really well far apart. And also look at even simple things like infrastructure, regular supply of electricity, internet services, and what have you. All those things pose very serious challenges to the speedy expenditure, speedy trial.
Barrister,
cases in Nigeria.
Barrister, no, you just set up for a part two of this particular one, because I've just been told by my director that we've got to wrap up. I'm hoping that if I call on you again, you'll say yes to me, because I need for us to really prosecute this case to the very end. And you are just right.
Absolutely.
You are just the right man for the job. Thank you so much for being gracious to us always. I appreciate it. That will be Barrister Tunde Kolawole with his very insightful comments. Ikechukwu, few seconds as we wrap this up.
I really don't have anything to say. I mean, you said it right. I just hope we can have this continue tomorrow.
Part two.
He said a lot of stuff.
Which you want to follow up with.
I would really love to talk
I
about
know.
because of our justice system.
We'll do a part two of this.
Very good. I just hope so. Tomorrow.
Guys, on that note, I've got to say a big thanks to the Honorable Minister, former ex-minister, former sports minister. He served with the late President Muhammadu Buhari, Solomon Dalung. Also to Barrister Tunde Kolawole for jumping on the show with us. Ikechukwu, nice to have you again. Guys, thanks to everyone who contributed to making the show a success. Bigger thanks goes to you guys for watching. Keep a date again with us, same time, same station for another episode of #. Until then, I am Vivian. Bye.